Greetings, greetings. Natasha Harrison here with Community Build Ventures, and I have another great opportunity and pleasure of having a conversation with Ms. Romaine Harris, who leads From Grief to Growth. If you recall, we did a cohort back in May that was specifically targeting Black people, especially during this time of COVID, of quarantine, of all the things in between that we've lost as a community. Ms. Romaine offered her from grief to growth opportunity, which was titled Trust Your Grief, as an opportunity to help people, Black people particularly, that are moving through the grief process. And so we are here today. Hello, Ms. Romaine.
Hi, how are you?
We are here today to just really do a session recap of what happened in May. And so I'll just start with this first question to you, Ms. Romaine, is what did people experience during that first cohort?
You know, it's so interesting that you would ask that question because I just talked with a couple of people about what they experienced, and I was literally blown away. Now, believe me, I trust my intuition and my gift to be able to hold people's suffering and grief. My grief, the people who I'm praying for who have passed on, is getting longer and longer. Every day I seem to have more people who are passing. But I am so privileged to have the opportunity to witness people transform their life within the 4 weeks where they put their grief in a little pocket, let's say, and try and go on with their life, and then realize another something happens and they pocket it. And even things like not even just death, but also trauma can actually, bring your life to a standstill, depending on, how you're processing. And so with a recap of what actually manifests while people are going through with their own self-realization of how and what and why they need to expand and be what I want and be healed. And it's not a healing I do. And I tell people that from the very beginning. It comes from within. It's an inside job. And when I see people doing their own work, it's such a blessing to me because, I lost my son and it took me quite a few years to be able to inside process that. So I didn't have, the trauma and drama around it in my life, because that's what happens. If you don't, it's like if you don't take care of it, it'll come out in very unforgiving ways where you are actually having to forgive yourself and what you said because you didn't really mean it, but you were thinking about this, the other thing popped up. So the self-healing that people do, the self-driven experience of going through from grief to growth is it's really incredible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, so I personally experienced it, and I am using a lot of the tools as I continue to grieve the transition of my mother over 25 years ago. So just deep gratitude for that. So, you mentioned own work, like do your own like inner work. If you could just like, I guess, tell a little bit more about the sessions of like what people, what the sessions are and how they help you do your own work.
That's a good question. Um, One of the things that we do is realize that there are two mindsets. One is a mindset that's fixed, and one is a mindset that is built on growth. And when you realize that, it doesn't matter how old you are, I'm 76 and I'm still growing and learning. And so that's one part of it. And then another part is to actually invite a letter that you send to the person who has passed, and then have a letter come back from them,
Mhm,
which people have told me that it is so, it just, it's so healing,
mhm,
because it's not something outside of yourself. It's all inside.
mhm,
Just like our intuition. Oh, the wonderful quote from Einstein, who talked about our society. The gift of intuition is the forerunner. I'm changing the quote a little because I don't have it in front of me, but it's the forerunner of the rational or intellectual mind. Society is based on the intellect and the rational mind, and we've forgotten the beautiful gift of
mhm,
our intuition.
mhm,
So what
mhm,
I hope and what I actually bring forward in people is that intuitive sense that they have, because love, you know, I know a lot of people believe that when you die, you're dead, you never come back, and this and that. Um, but the philosophy that I practice for over 50 years says that life is eternal. You can't extinguish energy. Energy, which is what we are, energy bodies, you can't create it and you can't destroy it. So the energy of all the people who have passed is still, that energy still exists. Love never dies. And as you cultivate that idea more in your life, I think it really helps heal, soothe, and give you confidence, more confidence in your own life. But our society is going in a whole other direction
mhm,
and
mhm.
so that's my gift to people. I always say when I'm doing the workshop, I'm looking for Harriet Tubmans of the 21st century to bring our minds up to the 21st century and with the thoughts of energy and ideas.
Amen. Amen. So I'm excited that we're doing another cohort beginning in October.
Yep.
Beginning October, I believe it's 23rd.
Yes.
On a Saturday, it's from 11 to 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the link is provided below on this video. If you are so interested in participating in our next cohort, we hope to see you. And we
Mhm.
appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about From Grief to Growth. And we hope to see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.